Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How you doing today? When do you want to retire? Let's just get to it. What's the age? You know, we run a plan for every single one of our clients. We start with just a general email. I actually do them physically, one by one. It's not automated. And what we do is we say, well, when do you want to retire? How much money are you looking for in terms of income in retirement? How much do you have already? What ages do you want to retire, if any? How old are you now? What other income do you expect? Basic questions, right, to get you started. And a lot of people go, I don't know. When do I want to retire? I'm like a kid. I feel, 20 in my brain, but I'm 35 or I'm 30 or whatever age you are. So I do get a lot of people that say, I just don't know. I don't really know a way to help with that. So what we did is we put together the average retirement age by state in the last survey that the census just did. Not the main census. The census does stuff constantly. This is where we got that from, and I'm going to show you that state breakdown in a minute, and then we're going to run through one of the plans, and we'll see kind of what the calculations come out to be. Interestingly, the national average retirement age is 65. That's why when you go to use most calculators, the general ones online, that's why they say 65 as the retirement age there. The state with the lowest average retirement age came in at 61, by the way, just so you get an idea what you're about to see. It was Alaska. So 61. There's only a few states out there with an average age beyond 65, right? Just so when we put it up here, you have something to see there. And Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, has the highest at 67. They work the longest there. I don't know if you've been there, but it costs a lot to live there. You think California is expensive. The actual bank rate did a study that said, it was Zillow, said the median starter home was higher in Washington, D.C. than every single other state out there. Even Hawaii, by the way, they included them in the mix there. They got a higher cost of goods there in terms of living in there in Washington, D.C. than any other state besides Hawaii. So the homes cost more than any other state, and higher cost of goods than every other state besides Hawaii. So that's that one there. Let's take a look here. Let's just get into it. I'll pull up the chart. And there is our fancy chart in all black and gray, typical Jazz colors there. Basically what you're looking at is, if you can't see the number of your state, the darker the color, the older you are in terms of average retirement age. The lighter the state, for example, you're Alaska, pinned down there at the bottom, the younger the average retirement age is. So in our state here in Florida, 64 is the average retirement age. I found that interesting. I thought that was a little bit low, to be honest. I thought people retired older here, but nope, that's 64. You could see New Mexico, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, all down here towards the lower south and moving into the southwest, like a weatherman. Did you see that? It was like a weatherman. Moving on to the southwest, we got 62s and 63s off to your east coast. Okay, that's why we don't do this live. Midwest up there, obviously South Dakota, North Dakota coming in at the average and slightly above average there. It's very interesting. Bank rate, like I mentioned a minute ago, rated South Dakota as the best state to retire. However, people retire there after the average age. So kind of interesting there. Anyways, take a screenshot, do whatever you want with it. I don't know if this is helpful to you. We're going to actually go into calculations now. So let's pretend I'll do one for you real quick, just kind of like we do here for customers. So we'll go over to the board. Let's see if we can do this here without messing anything up. There we go. So we're going to ask some questions of you, and think about this as the things that you may want to know if you're going to work out your retirement plan. Current age, right? Retirement age. We don't know. I'm going to pretend you don't know, so we're using the national average of 65, right? So this is your window. You're 30 now. You'd like to retire at 65. Seems average. We go, well, how much do you already have saved up for retirement? We'll say you have $25,000 already in the books. 401k, Roth IRA, things like that. And then the next question is, well, how much do you need in retirement? So when you hit the 65, you'd like to have, let's say, $50,000 in today's dollars, right? But we're going to adjust for inflation. So this is the purchasing power of $50,000 today, although when you get to 65, the number is not going to be $50,000. It's going to be a much larger number, but it will have the same purchasing power as $50,000 today. So we're going to pretend that that's kind of the answer that you gave there. Now we're going to raise our number by 3% a year. So we're going to say this is what you need and when you want it. We're going to make some assumptions. We're going to say that inflation is 3%. A lot of people think, oh boy, inflation's about to go up. Here's the beauty of the way we do it. We say 3% you add that to your yearly contribution. I'll go over that here in just a second. We're also going to assume that you average a 7% return, right? Which is low, by the way, because we're accounting for inflation along the way. This is like a 10% return. 7% afterwards, after you take out inflation. You can see how we're obviously shooting the bar low here for you. So here we go. Where do we land here? Oh, we're going to assume that you're saving this in all your different accounts, Roth IRAs, things like that. The total amount that you need this year, $9,354, has to be saved in any one of your accounts. Now, if you're working with us, I'll help you decide like where it should go, how it should go, everything like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to say $9,354 in the next 12 months is what you would have to save, and then you're going to add inflation to that number every year. So next year, you're not going to put in the $93.54. You're going to put in $93.54 plus 3% or whatever inflation is. You see why we're doing that? So we do that because then each year, you're essentially just behind on factoring in inflation. If you say, let's say you have a random assumption on inflation and you want to say 4%, but you're not able to factor it each year. Instead, what you say is just, hey, this is the amount that I'm going to save, and at the end of retirement, take 4% off, and let's pretend that got eaten away out of retirement in a linear kind of fashion there. You did yourself a disservice, right? Because you could be a lot tighter by using that. So anyways, that's the case there. That's what we end up with. And one of the ways we do it. I left out a few things there, but we try to keep these videos somewhat short just to help you out. So the bottom line is, use that chart. If you don't know what age you want to retire, maybe use that as a starting point. Look for the state that you want to retire and go, okay, well, let's try to formulate something based on that assumption. Maybe it changes. Doesn't matter if you love your job and you want to work for longer. We can work out different scenarios. So there you go. Average age of retirement by state. And I thought that was really cool. I had fun putting that one together there for you guys. Hope you enjoyed, and if we helped you in some way, hit the subscribe button. If you would like to work with an advisor and have someone actually work through these plans with you, give us a call, set up a call on our website, or you're welcome to check us out at jazzwealth.com and get started, top right-hand corner of your page. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you later.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.